Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
A Time for Truth show is sponsored by the Office of Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, a periodontal, dental implant and laser specialist in New York City, for over 40 years. Dr. Fialkoff was honored by the International College of Dentists and Pierre Fauchard, and received the Presidential Lifetime Humanitarian Honor from the White House. Call us at 718-229-3838.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to A Time for Truth show. It's a pleasure to be back with you again tonight. I'm your host, Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, and many of you have been asking, how do I avail myself of more episodes? Very simple. Go on YouTube, click on A Time for Truth show, and hit the subscribe button, and you'll be one of our viewers, our members. There's no fee or cost to you, and you'll be availed of all of 4 years of episodes and very interesting segments. And tonight I want to share with you a show and a little history, because I attended the Washington, D.C. International Religious Freedom Summit, and I was witness of some horrific situations in our world where people being persecuted for their beliefs and being in prison, incarcerated, and then unbeknownst to them, brought to hospitals where they had surgeries they didn't consent to for organ removal without their consent, without their awareness or knowledge that it was being performed on them. You can imagine the horrific feeling of knowing that this is actually occurring in our world. And what if it occurred to someone that you knew? So tonight's show is about a special conference that we'll be holding at the United Nations. The Global United Nations Time for Truth Conference, May 16th. And with us tonight is one of the coordinators for this very important meeting, and his name is Goodwill Ambassador Hugues Sanon. And Buddha, let's put up his pictures on the screen. There you see him. He's got an unbelievable smile. Ambassador Sanon, D.P.R.S, D.F.M.M, is a multifaceted leader, a global motivational speaker, a political advisor, a diplomatic expert, award-winning entrepreneur, a strategist, a mentor, a facilitator, a public advocate, a lecturer, and a speech writer and coach. Ambassador Sanon is a philanthropist and also a human rights advocate, a global peace ambassador, and a broadcast professional with extensive publications in many journals across the world. Ambassador Sanon is Special Envoy to the United Nations for COJEP International, linked to the European Parliament, UNESCO, and INGO. Vice President of the UN accredited Global Organization for Sustainable Development, and Global Ambassador for our very own group, the Foundation for Drug-Free World America's chapter, and the founder of the Chautauqua County Journal. And Buddha, let's bit of warm welcome and bring him up live to Ambassador Hugues Sanon. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ben, for the outstanding introduction. I'm very honored and I'm glad to come back in your show. I love this show. And anytime you have some free times, always inviting me because my heart always happy when I'm with you because you are a great man, a man who love humanity and who's working tirelessly hard every day to empower the whole world. Thank you again for inviting me, and I hope we have a wonderful show.
Well, thank you for all the great accolades. Like you, we live a life to help others, and we realize the miracle of life. So let's just get right to it because there's so much we need to cover about this conference. So tell us why you personally, who do so much and are involved in so many activities, why did you decide that this global Time for Truth May 16th UN conference is so important that you decided to coordinate with us?
Well, Dr. Ben, for the past 18 years, I've met you and you've been hosting conference at the UN to empower the world, to address many challenges that the world is facing. So I've watched your determination. I've watched your great heart to help those in need. So that's why I have been cooperating with you for so long. And I'm very so honored and so happy that I've met a great man like you who love humanity. The time for Chief Global Conference uh, for May 16 to me is very important. It's very crucial because it provides a great platform for local, national, and global leaders to come together to address the very pressing issues our world, the very pressing issue of our time, like violation to human rights, violation to religious freedoms, war, climate change, immigration issues, discrimination, and you name it. Today is the time of living together in peace, and we must understand, despite of our differences, despite of our belief, we share a common community, a common humanity. So I believe personally this conference is an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to peace, to dialogue, to cooperation in the face of so many challenges that divide us. So I encourage world leader, local, national, and global leader to join force with Dr. Ben Fialkoff, the Time for Truth Foundation, and COJEP International to once again make this United Nations conference a successful one. For the past 10 years, it has been great, but I believe this year, with your determination, Dr. Ben, the United Nations Global Conference, Time for Truth, will be once again a great one. And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I appreciate all that information, and I want to say that I want to acknowledge you because the very first time I met you, I saw the amount of energy and life you have brought wherever you go. You actually allow and enable things to occur that would not otherwise occur. And you don't seek accolades, but you get things accomplished, which is so important in today's world where there's so much rhetoric and picture taking. But you're right, this conference is not about public relations. It's about our world, a world with so much technology, but is suffering. So much so that the Secretary of Health and Human Services of the United States of America, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., said that our country is suffering from poor nutrition, the greatest country on earth, and yet our population is suffering diseases, as he said, from the nutritional diets that we've been misled and consuming. I wanted to ask you to comment a little bit about that, because you would think that in our country we would have the best diet in the world, and yet we don't. Please comment on that, Ambassador.
Yes, as you just mentioned, United States of America is the greatest country in the world, but yet the poor state of American nutrition is alarming and has major consequences on public health. What we eat, our unhealthy diet are leading to an increase in chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, and that alarming our health system. Addressing this crisis require multifaceted approach, including better education about nutrition. As a physician, you know well what we're talking about. We need a healthy lifestyle because this issue is essential that we prioritize health and well-being of individual to reduce long-term burden in our society. So I urge leaders, physicians like you, to encourage, to teach, to educate our community, our local leader on how to go about helping our nutrition system. There's too much chemical in what we eat, in what we consume, that leading us to many alarming diseases like diabetes that killing a lot of people. Not only the drugs issues is killing people, but this nutrition situation is killing people in America. And because we are the greatest country in the world, and we send food to many different countries in the world, is that we're killing humanity. So I urge the American leaders, the new administration, to take very seriously the health issues that is really concerning, alarming for our community, our society.
Absolutely. You know what? And you're so right. And, that's why I want to actually compliment RFK Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He's been unstoppable and unshakable in working to alert all of America. I have been informed that he's actually gotten some companies already to modify how they're producing and packaging their food, how they're delivering it. And you know what? I really laud Mr. Kennedy for what he's doing. It's a big job, and he's looking for the country, not for self-interest, which is a breath of fresh air. We want to acknowledge President Trump for having put him in that position. The president's taken a lot of heat, but he should get credit when credit is due. And life is not easy. And he's being a father of the country. So I know about being a father. Sometimes when you're the father, it's not an easy job, but you have to move forward with discipline and direction, which he's been doing. I think we need to take this moment to get out something that I realized, because a few years ago I decided to plant some apple trees on my property. And the apple trees grew and had apples. But I saw that within a week, the apples went bad. And I asked a friend of mine, I said, well, how can that be? They were on my land. I didn't use anything to grow them chemically, and they disappeared after a week. So how is it that I'm going to the supermarket, buying apples that have been shipped from a location over a week's time, and sitting in the supermarket and sit in my refrigerator and still look healthy? And it made me realize that we really need to take a look. Is what we're consuming actually made in a proper way? What are we putting in these foods to preserve them? How is that affecting our own bodies, which you brought out, Ambassador Sanon? Very important things that we need to look at in our lives and really realize that we're working collaboratively, and we need to do that with food, which is a basic nutrient. So thank you, RFK Jr., for what you're doing. And what I wanted to ask you, Hugues, religious persecution and discrimination seems to be increasing globally. We have the war in Palestine, in Israel. We have what's going on in many different parts of the world, in the Arab world. And it seems like the level of respect and tolerance is disappearing. Tell us what you feel needs to occur globally and what can start at our conference, the United Nations.
So what I feel is that we need to respect human rights. There's about 8 billion people uh, on earth, and there's about 10,000 different religions. So that's why, as per myself, I do not choose my friend based on political position, ideas, or religious belief. I choose my friend based on honesty, based on love and respect. So I think the conference of May 16 provide an essential platform to give a voice to those who have been affected by violation to human rights, to religious freedom. You just mentioned you went to the International Religious Summit in Washington, D.C., occurring every year. I believe 2 years ago, I had the honor to address some issues. So no matter whether you are Muslim, whether you are Scientologist, whether you are Christian, whether you are whatever Buddhist, we need to respect everyone belief. So we should not discriminate someone based on their belief. That's a violation to human rights. So those who've been affected by violation to the religious freedom or human rights, so I encourage you to join force with Dr. Hong so we can bring these challenges to the world, to the leaders' attention, so we can tell them there's so much need to be done because there's many countries in the world that still violating human rights, religious freedom. There are places in the world that killing people because of the belief, the choice. So this is a violation to human rights, and I encourage the United Nations to take this situation very strongly and to ensure people are accountable for what they are doing for violation to a human right and religious freedom, because this is not right. So we need to have a dialogue together. We need the government, the actors to partnership together, to join force together, so we can significantly stride in addressing these systemic issues, which is the violation to religious freedom. So on May 16, there will be many global religious leaders that will travel from many different countries in the world to come with the Time for Truth Foundation and Dr. Ben Fialkoff and the Council for Justice, Equality, and Peace to address this alarming issue, those who violating human rights and religious freedom. We need to accept people ideology, people believe, whether they are Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Scientology, whatever religion they choose to associate themselves to, so we need to respect that. Otherwise, that is a violation to religious freedom, to human rights. So on May 16, there will be very local, national, and global leader that will come together to address this issue, and they will come with a fact and how to go about to ensure that together we resolve this issue, because without addressing this issue, there may not be peace. There always be war, some type of war, because war begin by violating human right, by violating human belief. And when you try to take my right away, I am going to fight back. And when I'm fight back, you're gonna fight back, and then my friend gonna stand with me, your friend going to stand with you, and that's how the world is facing so many different wars. Violation to human rights, war, people go to other countries doing interferences, and this is how there's no peace. So we need to come together for peace, and in order for us to get peace, we need to stop violating people's rights.
Absolutely. We need to stop violating human rights. We need to start tolerating each other's beliefs, our religious and spiritual beliefs. You're so right. And I want to acknowledge the president of COJEP International, Ali Gedikoglu, who's going to be addressing the attendees at the conference, Dr. Hong Lao-Tse from Fopal, who's been fighting this war for so many years, and his group, Taiji Men's Academy, President Ludwig Alpers, who's going to be presenting internationally, really, with 123 countries, of the way to happiness. And, you know, we have a religious advisor from President Trump. We have so many different people who are going to be there. We have some regarding science, some regarding nutrition. And if you're watching this program and you'd like to attend, you can email us at atimefortruthfoundation@gmail.com, atimefortruthfoundation@gmail.com. Now, I wanted to ask you, Ambassador, this year, 2025, the United Nations declared the year of international quantum service and technology, because there's been a discovery that particles which started together, when they're separated, even though they may be light years away from each other, that one particle, when it experiences a phenomena, the other particle light years away experiences the same exact phenomena, which has been mind-baffling. And it's been found that this is a structure physically of the universe by physicists at Princeton, which will be brought out at the conference. I wanted to ask you what impact of this duplication of people who were once together, particles who were once together, and the structure of the universe, what impact can this have regarding our world society, our interactions, and the importance of our communication? Please go on.
Dr. Ben, I believe quantum technology, AI, artificial intelligence, those new technology are very great. I'm really happy that United Nations declared the 2025 the year of technology. So it is great because quantum technology, artificial intelligence, provide us the technologies to better addressing many different challenges the world is facing. It gives us a better communication skills to communicate between country and try to find out the best way to solve many different situations that the world is facing. It's helping us to efficiently addressing and communicate together. However, I want those who listen to your show understand, even though the quantum technology, artificial intelligence are doing great, making things much more easier for us, but we must understand our mind, we human, are the best things that ever happened to the world. So we must not give us on our personal intelligence because we program this technology. So it's because we are better thinker, and we be able to come with the intelligence, artificial intelligence, the quantum technology. So we build this technology. So if we do build this technology, that means we are better thinker. So if we decide to put ourselves together, to put our mind together we'll be stronger and we'll do much more a greater thing for our society. So as we are promoting quantum technology, or we are promoting artificial intelligence, as we are using these technologies to efficiently communicate among each other, to help solve some issues, to understand what's going on in the world, in the healthcare situation, in the war things, is great. But we must understand we need to be in peace in ourselves and embrace one another so we can do better for humanity. So I'm very happy that we be able to come with the quantum technology, the artificial intelligence that helping us, but do not use this new technology in the wrong way, because I see many of our young people, instead for them to developing the mind, they let themselves lead only by the artificial technology. So they don't take well anymore. They let those technology take for themselves. They do not educate themselves anymore. They let the artificial intelligence do everything for themselves. Do not let those quantum technology, those artificial intelligence do everything for you, but educate yourself and use those things to better yourself so you can develop in your mind. So in the next 10 years, we can developing other technology that will make us understand not only what's going on earth, but what's going on in our mind and what's going on in the universe. So I'm glad that we have technology, but we as humans are greater than all the technology, Dr. Ben. This is my point of view.
That's such an important statement. It's overlooked. Sometimes people forget that humanity brings so much life to the planet, and that we work together with the animal kingdom, with the plant kingdom, with the earth, with the sun, and that these computers were made by life. Life wasn't made by computers. Life made computers to aid life, not to eliminate life. You're so right, Ambassador Sanon. And unfortunately, this show has run out of time, but I'm so happy that both of us were here for the audience for this May 16th at the United Nations from 10 to 1. A time for truth, a time for religious freedom, a time for education, a time for human rights, a time for quantum science, and to realize that now even quantum science has validated that we're all connected. We realized this during COVID, and Ambassador Sanon made such an important point. Let's not forget how connected we are as humanity. What final message would you like to give, Ambassador, before we end the show?
We need to be at peace to ourselves, so in turn we can start loving others, because there's so much going on in this world. There's a war, there's violation to human rights, there is a violation to religious freedom, there is child trafficking, woman abuse, drugs abuse. So we need to come together to address this issue and come with a better solution. This is our world. This is our community. This is our society. We should not give up. We should stand together to a time for truth. And the truth is now. And the truth is with you and me to understand there's no truth without peace, and there's no peace without the truth. So the truth will be on May 16 at United Nations with a Time for Truth Foundation that join with the Council for Justice, Equality and Peace that will bring world leader to address many issues and together to seek for solution. So do not forget May 16 from 10 to 1 p.m. at the United Nations. This is one of the greatest platform. We're not gonna be there just for picture. We're going to be there to put ourselves, our mind, our resources together to bring solution. And this is what Dr. Ben is seeking for. This is why he's investing time, knowledge, and money, and join force with great people to ensure we better educate ourselves, so in turn we can empower the whole world. So the time for truth is now. And for you to understand, join us on May 16, 2025 at the UN, and Dr. Ben will give you more detail on how to register for this amazing global Time for Truth conference at the United Nations.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. A Time for Truth Foundation at gmail.com. A Time for Truth Foundation at gmail.com with any questions you have, any suggestions you have, if you would like to attend. And I want to end off because RFK Jr. is in office. And when I came to this country as a little Cuban boy fleeing communism from Cuba to America, President Kennedy made it safe for me. So it's a very interesting time for me seeing him cleaning up the country on nutrition, on health. And so I want to have a quote from President Kennedy. Men may die. Countries may come and go. But ideas last forever. Let us see not what our country can do for us. Let's see what we can do to solve our country. And as President Trump has said, let's make America a symbol of freedom and great again, so we can bring freedom to the world. We hope you enjoyed this episode of A Time for Truth show. We'll see you on May 16th. Be well.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Be well.
This show was sponsored by A Time for Truth Foundation Incorporated as a community service.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your feet